What's up, everybody? Cole from Geek Life Gaming here, and today we are going over my updated Dark Irregular deck profile for Cardfight Vanguard. So this has new cards from the newest set, VBT05 Vilest Deletor. So not much has changed in this. For the most part, the lineup is very similar, and what I try to do is the same. However, I added some stuff for consistency, and it has been working out wonderfully. So we are still running Vermilion Gatekeeper as our starting Vanguard. Still have the 4 Cursed Doctor. Still running 8 Criticals. And then to round it out, we have our 4 March Rabbit of Nightmare Land. Grade 1 lineup. Right now, I have a single Dimension Creeper, which is why I'm only running 1, but I have more on the way, and he will be upped to 3 once they get here. For the time being, until I get my Dimension Creepers, I am running 3 Pathfinder of Wind. Pretty decent, pretty great on the early game when you're trying to get a very big soul in the early game. When your drive check reveals a trigger, you may put that card into your soul, and if you do, soul charge 2. So that's not bad, but I really want to, especially if I'm seeing my draw triggers in the early game, my March Rabbits, but I need the soul. And if I need the soul, I'm forced to send, or I'm not forced to, but I elect to send March Rabbit to the soul to get that soul charge too. So 2 of him will be replaced with Dimension Creeper when those 2 come in. And then one of these next 2 cards will be bumped up to 4. So next up, we have 3 Alluring Succubus. This really helps the consistency issues that I was having for not getting to my grade 3s. I did not want to bump the number up to 10. I wanted to keep it at 8, and now that we have Alluring Succubus, I can keep it at 8 because now I'm more likely to get those grade 3s by the time I need to ride a grade 3. So for a counterblast and putting Alluring Succubus into the soul, you look at the top 7 and you can choose up to 2 grade 3s from the top 7. You put 1 into your hand and the other into your soul. So she also helps in the early game getting your soul big as well. 3 Prisoner Beast. For a very nice soul charge when placed, and also in the later game, it is a 10k booster. So that's why for right now he is at 3. And arguably the best grade 1 that they have, Doreen the Thruster at 4, because she allows you to boost and swing for hilariously large stacks. I think the largest that I got to, it was Protect versus Protect, and I definitely broke over 100k. It's just, if you can combo Doreen properly, she just gets stupidly big. And that's it for the grade 1 lineups. Next up, we have our grade 2s. For right now, I am running 2 Authority of Water, because I took out Ruthven and Vrukalakas. I like the Authority of Water a lot more. She's a more consistent counter charge because she combos very well with one of the other grade 2s that I have in the deck here. So I really like the Authority of Water. Once a turn, when your opponent's rear guard is retired during your turn, if your soul has 10 or more cards, soul charge or counter charge 1. Next up, we have 3 Dark Soul Conductor, another new card. I'm running him at 3 because his shield gets it's up to 15, so you can have a 15k shield. So when he is placed on guard, if you have a total of 10 or more cards in your soul and in your damage, he gets plus 10,000 shield until the end of turn, and then when this unit would be retired during that battle, put it on the bottom of your deck instead. So this, along with Dimension Creeper, help you not deck out as fast because you're putting Dimension Creeper and Dark Soul Conductor onto the bottom of the deck instead of in the drop zone. Next up, 3 Flirtatious Succubus. At the end of the battle that it attacked a Vanguard, does not have to hit, does not even have to do damage. At the end of the battle that it attacked a Vanguard, you can put it into your soul, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and retire it. So that combos well with our Authority of Water for the countercharge. And then, when Flirtatious Succubus is in the soul, you can counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand, and you can return Flirtatious Succubus from the soul to your hand. So she is recurring, and in the late game, if your opponent has some pesky if your opponent has some pesky rear guards, Flirtatious with Authority of Water, you're getting a free retire nearly every turn. To round out the grade 2s, 3 Werewolf Seeger. He is the preferred, obviously, he is the preferred grade 2 Vanguard ride choice, because he gets an additional 5,000 power if you have, 5 or more cards in soul. And then when he's on the Vanguard and he attacks, you soul charge 2. And now we are on to the grade 3s. We are running a single Master of Fifth Element for the game ending play. So now we have 2 pretty decent finishers in the deck. We have the Master of Fifth Element, who on the Vanguard, when it attacks, if your soul has 15 or more cards, put all of the cards from your hand and soul into your drop zone and stand all of your units. So he's a very good end piece, and also you can go in, if you have a full board of 6, you can go into him off of Death Anchor and still have 4 attacks after that. Still running a 1 of Demon Eater. She's not that bad of a first ride target now. I know I gave her a lot of crap when I first built the deck, but now I don't think she's that bad. Very good first ride target to fill your soul, because when your guards would be retired from guarding, obviously, you may put them into your soul instead. And then her other ability on Vanguard or Rearguard, when it attacks, you counterblast 1 and put 1 of the Rearguard into your soul. Draw a card, and until end of turn, she gets plus 10,000. You can Soul Blast 10, and your opponent cannot call Sentinels from their hand. So she is also a very good finisher. So now Dark Irregular has access to 2 solid finisher units. Next up, we are running 2 King of Masks Dantarian. Now, if some of you have watched one of our other recent videos, you know that I'm not too stoked on Dantarian right now. My opinion may change on him like it did of Demon Eater, but for the most part, I'm not a fan of him. He's not a bad unit, but the issue that I've been running into him is whenever I have him on Vanguard, his most useful ability is to guard with the grade 2s, which is good, especially if Dark Soul Conductor is in the soul. I can call him from soul for a 15k shield. But whenever I have him on Vanguard, I'm never soul charging my grade 2s to hit his ability off, and I'm never retiring my opponent's rear guards. So, for the most part, Dantarian to me has not been useful, which is why, so far, I'm not a big fan of him. That opinion may change soon, but for the meantime, I'm not that big of a fan. However, his SVR is very well done. I do like his art. Then, rounding it out, we are still running the 4 No Life King Death Anchor for the combos into the finishing plays. So, Death Anchor, on placed, you soul charge 1, and he gets plus 2,000 for each card in the soul. And then, at the end of the battle that he attacked, if you have 13 or more cards in soul, you counterblast 1, put a card from hand in 3 rear guards, in 3 rear guards into your soul. You ride a card from your soul as stand, and then it gets an additional critical until end of turn, but I do not see why you would ride down into a grade 2. You normally always want to go into a grade 3, but yeah, he is still at 4, and he is still my favorite unit of the deck. So that was my updated Dark Irregular deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. And once again, this has been Cole from Geek Life Gaming, and we'll see you next time.